Here's a little problem that I didn't see in the beginning. This track here has been in existence all the time. This turnout point here goes round to the fast lane, so that's fine. My next track to build in was this one here, and this is where I saw a problem just in time. If I was coming off of the slip, off of this double point here, and there was a train coming around there, and that was coming up there, you can just see I had about a quarter of an inch. Now originally I didn't have a quarter of an inch, because when I first did it, this track was over a little bit further and it actually got to the point where I touched. So moral of the story is, when you're doing something with a curved turnout and you're going to put another one going in, but it comes off of a slip or a point, then just make sure you've got enough room, because I just did it by the skin of my teeth, as you can see. The next stage of my operation is, since I had all the muck up with the lift out section, I've got this bit of track to match up with that, so not terribly good. But what I've done, when my point is that you can't see, which is there, I've put my track into the point, I've secured it with one track nail so that section doesn't move, and now this bit here I can now manoeuvre to join up with that. Now this forms what is sort of a small siding here that goes on to my small station. It's basically a small siding for a couple of wagons to unload the odd local parcel, etc. Nothing fantastic and nothing great, but a nice little diorama one can make. I don't know where that word comes from. Nice little scene. So what I'm going to do, using this device I got from America, which is a little curler, okay, I'm going to start by pulling that round, and it stops having a kink and makes it easier to come up with. Now I've checked my level there, so as far as that's concerned, I'm straight into the point. Now my curve has come round, I'm clear of that one, so I don't want to make that mistake again. And if I take the centre point of the two tracks, I'm okay where I am. Now what I do next, there it is, I knew I had one handy. What I do next, I learnt this trick from a chap in America on his track. He said if you're going to join track on a curve, stagger it so there's no kink. So I've got plenty of track. I'm going to cut this track here, and I'm going to cut this track just where it is. So that's going to come off there. So that's what I'm going to do with that. When I've done that, I'll then put this smaller track over the top, which is partially fixed as well. Then I'll get that accurate joints where I've got to be. So now I have to use my trusty pliers, brilliant, from Maplin, because it allows you, if you wanted to, you can go in and you can remove a track pin with no problem. Nice and easy. By the way, when I put my track pins in, I use a ball peen hammer, small one, well not that small, but a ball peen hammer, Absolutely beautiful. Doesn't touch the rails, doesn't muck it up. Nice and easy to do. You want them out? That will lift them out. Mat pins, lovely. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove this piece of track, just like that, and with my trusty cutters, the first one I'm going to cut, making sure the flats of the cutter are in the bit of track I want to use. There you go, nicely done. Now, what I have to do now, I'll have to correct this afterwards, I'm now going to cut the plastic of the sleepers. I'm going to pull those out, and now I have to cut that one there where I marked it, and that will be the other rail. On the floor, where everything should be. Not, but never mind, it is at the moment. And I've lost my little file. There's my little file. So all I do now, I just file and file. Okay, so those are my two ends ready. Okay, so now I put the disc back onto the point, the bit you can't see but I can, which is really lucky. Move a few things out the way. I do like a tidy bench, I just don't practice it, like the rest of us possibly. And now we are going to put our little grey thing on again. I'm just going to put a track pin in where I had it originally, just to hold that section steady. Okay. And now this has got to come round like that. Springy it is, we understand that. So now that bit goes on top of there, and this is purely visual, but I'm looking at something that's not too bad for a siding, and therefore that rail will be cut there and this rail will be cut here, and we spring off. Okay, I'll come back to you in a minute. Okay, well here goes nothing. I've trimmed the track so that bit's come off, same with that side, and now I have to squeeze them and get them in to line, which is never going to look nice, but got that one on. Problem with that one. Okay, so I'm just going to move this fish plate up because that fish plate hasn't done its job properly. And it's not doing what I want it to do. It's level, but it's just not going up. Well, what do you know? I should have done a blue Peter and done one earlier, shouldn't I? It's not working. There we go. Okay. Right. Now both the fish plates are in good position. I've now got to make sure that this section here is straight, which is how I want it. And now we have this curve, which is slightly out from where it was, underneath that track. Okay, let's see what we do with this. Right, so the good test now, all joined up, which is good. Looks good visually. I can't see many problems with it. I think one of the tests, if we ran a carriage on it, just to see if it looks good, and it does look good. So if we do it, yeah, I mean there's no physical clunk click or moving out of sequence. It doesn't go off and back. Okay, I'm happy with that. That's quite good. One of the other things that, before I nail it all down, putting the sleepers back in, because you have an outside curve and the pressure on a curve is to push out from the circle, I cut the sleepers off on this side. I cut these sleepers off completely, and then I cut half of that sleeper off, so that the outside sleeper, when I put it in there, the outside sleeper is going to click onto the rail. Then I will nail it down so it actually, any pressure to push out will be stopped, because the actual chair of the sleeper is actually doing its job. So that's what I will do in a minute. But before I do that, I've got to align the track so that I've got a good basis and I don't move anything while I'm putting the sleepers in. So basically, again, nice and easy. That's still looking good. All of this black rubber here, I shall cut all that away, because it's only there for being under the track. It's 2mm thick, okay, which is, what's that, roughly 8 inches in real language. And by the time I put my gravel on, then the ballast will slip down there, and so that means it's going to be a nice chamfer to the ballast, if you get my drift. So that's everything I'm going to do. I'm just going to pull that forwards a bit when I put that one in. Just a smidgen. There you go. Right, there we are. Next thing I'm going to do, when I've nailed everything down and put the sleepers in and cut the rubber away, I'll then do a little run round with the train, make sure it all works. Okay, as you can see, I've now got everything sorted around here, which is the siding going into the platform that will be there for the small station. I've removed all the foam so we can now see what it would sort of look like. I just sprinkled this in here for a laugh, just to see what it would look like, and I don't like it, but never mind. We know it's going to have something in there eventually. So this is the little goods thing. This is an old Triang coach, plastic wheels, but it does the job for experimentation. And there it's going into the little bay platform, bingo. Up against the buffers, job done. So that's working very well, very pleased with that. Not a problem there at all. I think what I'll do, I'll take the camera off the tripod and give you a quick whiz around the layout as it is.